Weekdays by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Why is it we all so desperately want to be loved?
Because we are so desperately empty, lonely.
But you say that loving on the whole is more important than being loved.
Yes, of course, obviously, which means one must understand this emptiness, this loneliness in oneself. So the question of love is really an extraordinary thing, because a mind that is frightened obviously cannot love. A mind that is self-concerned with its own ambitions, greeds, fears, guilt, suffering, has no capacity to love. A mind that is divided in itself, that lives in fragments, obviously cannot love. A mind that lives in division. Division implies sorrow. That is the root cause of sorrow, division. Between you and me, between me and they, or we and they. The black, the white, the purple, the pink, and all the rest of it. So wherever there is a division, a fragmentation, love cannot be. Because goodness is the state of non-division. Word itself means indivisible.
But love between two human beings who say there shouldn't be division, but
That's just it, sir. That's just it. Look, when the husband says to the wife or the boy says to the girl, I love you, what does that mean? The sexual enjoyment, all the rest of it, is that what he calls love? Or is it a relationship? a close, intimate companionship.
That, I think, is nearer it.
All
But
right.
often they have an idealized picture of each other.
Which means what? An image of each other.
Right.
The one image loves the other image. That image, the mechanism of that image is the accumulation of insults, pleasures, anxieties, and so on, the nagging and the dominating. All that is built up through months or years of living together, and each image has a relationship with the other. And is that a relationship? Relationship means direct.
I had to. Hey, listen, man. KBLA just turned 2 years old. I had to bring the OG for this show. I had to do it. That was none other than the legendary J. Krishnamurti. Where there is brokenness, where there is separateness, there is no love. He said, where there is fragmentation, there is no love. Whew, the great J. Krishnamurti. And why is that important for tonight's conversation? Well, let me give you a little backstory. So I'm at the Cigar Lounge enjoying Juneteenth, the remnants of Juneteenth, after the exclusive KBLA Talk 1580 private party. I will not disclose the location, but it was exclusive. It was very nice. I showed up, we had a great time. But then I went to the Cigar Lounge. And the reason why I wanted to go to the Cigar Lounge was because I knew 9 p.m. my television show, The Situation Shift, starring Zoe Williams, was about to air. And everybody in the lounge wanted to catch this particular episode. So we cast it to the big screen TV there, and everybody was watching, and we were having a great time. And then, you know how black people do at the movie theaters. They talking to the screen. Dang, Zoe, she said that. Well, I could have been on the show. What? So you're missing things, right? So, but the episode spawned like this impromptu relationship roundtable. And of course, I'm not talking. I'm taking notes because potential topics are popping into my head. And then a sister there was telling somebody she was with, she said, so why did we meet in the first place? I said, ooh, there it is. So I said, let's put it together. Let's put this topic together. Why did we meet in the first place? Is tonight's topic. What does it mean to be in a true relationship? And I want y'all to call in and tell me. Right? Right? Do you know why you met your partner initially? Do you know what drew you to them initially? Do you have a definition for what it means to be in a true relationship? Now, the great Krishnamurti was talking about how separateness, being broken, being fragmented, is antithetical to being in love. You're broken, no love. And that's that is a hard line to take, but that's the line he took, right? He said, if there is internal brokenness, psychological brokenness, fragmented thoughts, fragmented feelings, love does not live there. And him saying that reminded me of my good friend, Dr. Mark Goulston, author of Just Listen and Get Out of Your Own Way and many other books. Dr. Goulston used to always break down the word despair. And I pulled it up here for you from its etymological root. Despair, to lose hope. But in etymology, what it's, you'll hear the definitions, hopelessness, all of that, right? Without. But D-E-S, des, right? Spare, right? Or despair, to separate. Ugh. To separate. Despair. To be separated. Now, my last show, last Thursday, we talked about this. If you're separated from your internal self, you're broken walking right into the relationship. So now, tonight, why did you meet this person? For what purpose? What is a true relationship? 1-800-920-1580. What is a true relationship? What is immature love? Right? What is your reason for being in a relationship? Are you there to get something, or are you there to give something? Are you there to control something? Are you there to hide from something? Why do you even want to be in a relationship? Andy, why do you want to be in a relationship, brother? Just tell me, man. It's all right.
Companionship.
You lonely?
I could be lonely at times.
See, that's why I love Andy. Because Andy going to tell the truth and shame the devil later. He going to tell the truth right now, and then he going to shame the devil later on. But I love that. He said, I can be lonely at times. And sometimes loneliness is, I would say most of the time, who agree or disagree with this? Most of the times, loneliness is a terrible matchmaker. Because loneliness will have you picking way deep down at the bottom of the barrel. I'm not trying to be elitist or classist or anything like that. I'm just saying. Sometimes loneliness will have you picking somebody that is no good for nobody. Well, you picked them, so I guess they're good for you. Should intimate relationships be more about self-discovery than self-fulfillment? True or false? Someone in immature love will not think of the greater good of the relationship. Instead, they focus on the greater good for themselves. Why are you here? Why did we meet each other? What do you want from me? I'm sorry. I love you, Tyrese. I didn't mean that. What more do you want from me? I'm just... Oh, God. Why are we here? We're not just here because we graduated college. We're not just here because we work in corporate America and we can afford a kid and we can combine our salaries. We're not just here for that. What are we in this relationship to do? When I come forward, the phone lines are wide open. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The voice of reason has returned. Year number 3 starts now.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to K-Trip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Trip.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Fixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner. Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke.
Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines, such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build and inform and engage electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Toxic, extra, toxic, extra, toxic, extra, toxic. Hey, for real though. Your charm is so intoxicating. Not debating, had me tipsy when the shot was taken. Took a hook, thought it was real till you swapped the bait in. I awaken to the skill of your operation. Crafty, you're an artist with manipulation. Draft me into your army, but I'm not for shaping. Thought I was putty in your hands till you got forsaken. Who you working for is a stop for Satan. Ungodly the way you will the population. Laughing like an evil genius at your slot creations. Taught me a lot as I watched the demonstration. Walked away like Lot from your indoctrinations. Antics, attacks on phony friendships. Games you play for the props you get. Like wanting me to stick attacks with your opposite. Cause clearly we're the attraction, the opposite. You toxic. Sick of dealing with you cause you toxic. I hit my ceiling with you, girl, you toxic. Had the bitch you would do cause you toxic. Feel like a feeling with you.
A problem arises when our relationships are not understood, right? Whether it is intimate or impersonal. Why have we not understood relationship and see the depth of it or the futility of it and go on with it? But we have never resolved this problem of relationship. Right? You know all about it, don't you? Why? Is it you love and you are not loved? Is that a problem? Come on, sirs, it is. It's a problem. Or you love and the other doesn't love. Right? Or in your relationship with another, you're possessive, you're dominant, you're, dependent. You want something from her or from him? Sex, pleasure, comfort. As somebody said to me, to the speaker the other day, if I leave, who will wash my clothes? You understand? I wonder if you understand all this. So what is relationship? Out of which we have made such tremendous problem. It is to be related to another. Relationship means related to another. To one, or to many, or to the whole of mankind. Right? To the one, or many, or to the whole of mankind. You understand? Or you don't?
Y'all not ready for Krishnamurti. Okay, we gonna have him all night tonight. Y'all, are you listening to the piercing questions that he is positioning? Right? What are you there for? Why did we meet? What do you think? Let me just say it another way. What do you think in you that I have the key to heal? I can't. You think I have the key to something in you that would heal you? What do you think I have? What do you think I can bring to the table that would facilitate your healing? We've been conditioned to believe that, listen now, we've been conditioned to believe that all of our answers come from the outside in. Right? You got to remember, before Oprah, it was very few people talking about go inward. And if they were talking about go inward, they were from another country. Or they were a brother in New York who was teaching the science of mind, Reverend Ike, and he was being ridiculed for speaking on it. Y'all remember that? Okay, cool. I'm just saying, going inward is as cliche now as Taco Tuesday, but it's only cliche in the terms of the phraseology. It is not cliche in the term of its actuality. No one is actually doing it, or very few people, I should say, actually doing it. So I asked the question. The lady asked the question in the cigar lounge. Why did we meet in the first place? Why am I in your life? What am I here to offer you? Right? What does a real relationship mean? What does the true meaning of being in relationship mean? True or false, a real relationship is one in which both partners are committed to one another and are willing to work through the good times and the bad times. Do you know people, listen, I had bad times before I met you. And when I was alone, I was running from the bad times. What makes you think because you here with me, I won't strap these shoes up even tighter? And because guess what? The problems I came with are still with me. They have now commingled with the problems you brought. Now the relationship has its own unique stench of problems that are unresolved, that are unacknowledged. So if I was running when I was by myself, what makes you think I won't run when we together? 1-800-920-50. It's about to get deep. It's about to get deep. Because I got to ask the question. Are most of us in unserious relationships? Right? Because you know if you're in it for a meaningful purpose, a reason, when difficulty hits you, you get tighter. You get tighter. You find a way to get tighter. Even if you don't have the tools, you find a way to get tighter. But you'll know if it's not serious, y'all get looser. start to fall away. The problem, which comes with its own inherent solution, the problem begins to dominate the relationship. Not the search for the solution contained therein. That's what couples do. We got to go through it. We got to figure out a way. Otherwise, we're left with the question, why did I meet you in the first place? Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia, get in here.
What up, though, Aunt? Glad to be on with you. And you jumping in the fire, man.
Yes, sir.
I know one of the beautiful things, even just with people crossing paths, like, I remember it was probably like over 8 years ago or something, first coming across your work, like a decade. It's crazy. I was just looking initially for a way to pass time, you know, on some giggle stuff or whatever, but I suppose God already knows, like, my certain level of, I guess, insight or internal questions and pondering. Like, you know, you just happen to come across certain people that ring a bell, and once you, I guess, acknowledge that, you stay tapped in. It's been fire ever since. I never came, like, you know, trying to get something, so to speak, like that, just enjoying the rhythm of what's before me. So, hey, man, I think it's always for a reason.
So let me ask you, what are some of the most valuable things you've been able to, lessons you've been able to extrapolate out of these apparently or seemingly, random meetings? You meet somebody and you start to like them and you start to create a connection and a bond. What are some of the most meaningful things you've learned from those situations? Hold your thought, because I'm going to carry you over. I want you to think about it. And I want you to answer, why were you there and why were they there? This from your perspective, of course. Why were you there? What was, because, you know, it's two sides to every story. When we come forward, I'm going back to Atlanta, Georgia, to talk to my brother Nazarene X.
Still aggression, my reactions to instill a lesson. I will not be treated like an adolescent. Swallowing emotions like I owe you something. Communication is processing the information. Learn to listen and end up missing out on your blessings. Yeah, keep stunting like class ain't in session. Dismissing feelings, find mine ditching. Go ahead, catch them. You unapologetic till you finally get it. It's kind of problematic to resolve the static. It's all copacetic.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network.
I'm very proud of my son.
That's all President Biden said in response to shouted questions from reporters ahead of a meeting on artificial intelligence in San Francisco. The comment comes as Hunter Biden has struck a deal with federal prosecutors to plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors and to resolve a felony gun charge. As part of the agreement, the Justice Department has agreed to recommend a sentence of probation. Meantime, the New York Times reports industry leaders warned OceanGate about potential issues with its Titanic expeditions. The newspaper obtained a letter from 2018 that warned OceanGate its experimental approach with its vessel could lead to catastrophic outcomes. One of the company's submersibles has been missing since Sunday, with 5 people on board. And the people who guaranteed Congressman George Santos' $500,000 bond in his criminal fraud case will have their identities revealed. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys to speak with a real expert attorney for a free consultation.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding. are boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Are you a small or micro business owner looking for ways to succeed after the pandemic? LA County has got you covered. Gain access to economic opportunity grants and technical assistance to help your business thrive. Whether you need mentorship or capital investment programs, they're here to help. Find out if you qualify at recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. That's recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. LA County and you, moving forward together.
What's up, LA? Reparations United and Black Pact got something real special going down in historic Leimert Park. Join us on July 1st, 2023. This event is sponsored by Reparations United and the Black Pact. We are fighting for justice and empowering our community. Together, we're making moves. We got an insane lineup for y'all. Soulful Regina Bell, King of LA, The Game, Smooth Eric Benet, and none other than the one and only Rotimi, and the powerful sounds of blackness. We also got some special guests in the house, too, y'all. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, State Senator Stephen Bradford, and more. They bring in their passion and leadership to the stage. Mark your calendars, fam. July 1st, 2023. Leimert Park. Let's come together, support each other, and make a difference. Peace, love, and reparations benefit concert and unity rally. Be there or be left out. Produced for you by Tara Perry of Black Pact and Cam Howard of Reparations United.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh, yeah. Love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingarona, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. And the ding. Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, we're Tasha,
Jill, and Euro from KBLA's Lyric Lounge.
Check us out every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Tune in as we break down some of your favorite song lyrics from all genres of music.
From gospel to pop and hip-hop to rock and everything else in between, we cover it all.
So come hang out in the Lyric Lounge with Tasha,
Jill, and Euro every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. and every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Let the music play.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. You're listening to the voice of reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I found you wearing satin, the shade of ebony. In the silence of my dreams, you kept me company. On this secluded island, our bodies seem to melt. Intoxicating, overwhelming intensity. Don't listen everything and nothing more.
We have one question from the social media, the Facebook. Amit Madan wants to know, in this materialistic age, the real feeling of love is disappearing from our life. Most of the love we receive from others and express to others is superficial. How can we reinforce the real feeling of love in our own life and in others?
Forget about others. If you learn to be loving by your own nature, not because of somebody else or something else. I know the question is coming from Facebook. There's an enormous possibility. You can even love those people.
I had to slip in Sadhguru. He said, forget about others. Back to the point I made earlier. Again, we've been conditioned to believe that our answers come from the outside. I've been telling y'all, you have to be what you want. I've been saying it for over 20 years. You get who you are. And if you're a complete mess, you look attractive to complete messes. They see you too like, hey, we the same. There's familiarity here. There's camaraderie in our messiness. Do you understand? Be love. Stop asking for it. Be it. Listen, if you became love, do you know how, listen to me, do you know how despair and disappointment and frustration and sadness and being let down by other people, do you know all of that would leave your life? Do you know that? If you just became love. But again, it's hard to wrap our minds around becoming something that is so high in the conscious spectrum that many people believe that it's not real. So we put our minds on tangible things, right? Look what he did for me. See? Told you. He liked me. He did this. What have you done lately? Do you see where we put it? Let me explain something to you. Do you know people go through the motions? Do you know people know how to do the right things according to the list of things that are supposed to be done? Do you know people really know how to do that? And they can do that and have a disingenuous intent behind the execution of the correct doing. Right? So I said, listen to how stupid the internet is. How do you tell if a relationship is serious or not? The answers are constant communication. But a manipulator can be in constant communication. Telling you breadcrumbing you, giving you little pieces of what you need to hear. Huh? Right? Spending time together. Yep, manipulators love to spend time with their prey. Do you see how vacuous and empty the internet is when it comes to so-called facts? Introducing each other to friends and family. That don't matter neither. Huh? Bobby Womack was introduced to some friends and family. Y'all heard the story of Bobby Womack? What he did to Sam Cooke? Huh? Andy, pull up the record. I wish he didn't trust me so much. Anyway, hey, the man, come on, man, got with his wife, came to his funeral in one of his suits, then messed around and had sex with his daughter after he was dead. Come on. Come on, y'all.
I'm the best friend he's got. I've given a shirt off my back. He knows he can trust me with his life. But each time he leaves me alone, Leave me alone with his wife. I wish he didn't trust me so much. I think he really trusts me too much. How can he be so blind?
Oh, come on, Bobby. Then gonna turn around and make a whole song. Come on, Bobby. So introducing each other to friends and family. Sure. Superficially, yes, that makes sense. Yes, you need to meet my moms and my mother's gone, but yeah, you need to meet my sisters and my brothers and my sons and my daughter. Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean, I'm telling you, people go through the motions while doing the correct motions. Making future plans. People do that all the time. They don't mean nothing. Right? Sharing personal information. People do that all the time. People share personal information in Times Square. Somebody at Times Square with a hustle game, they're going to give up some personal information. Come on. Now we're starting to get down to the beans and greens of it, the grits. You know you're in a serious relationship when y'all can get through something. When you can resolve conflicts, when you can manage conflicts, when you make space for empathy, for understanding each other, where there's mutual respect, the mutuality of the higher qualities, right? Acknowledgement of each other, right? Consideration, right? Cooperation, collaboration, the mitigation of conflict, the mitigation of competition. It's healthy, yes. I'm rooting for you, but next time I'm going to do even better, right? You get what I'm saying? Grown-up relationships. A lot of people are in immature relationships doing these so-called being supportive. Do you know how many people are supportive to their partner on the surface? But underneath that, jealous and envious. Why are we together? Why are we here? Huh? You could have a Bobby Womack in your life. Why are we here? That's what I want to know. Why are we here? What does this relationship offer me in terms of me? I'm going to give you my answer. But when I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines, and I want to hear your answer. What were you in that relationship for? How did it serve you? Or, in reverse, how did you serve it? Huh? 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, the phone line's already cracking all over the country. We're going to talk to everybody. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
It's Black Music Appreciation Month, one of my favorite months of the year. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you in part by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. What's up, SoCal? Here are a few Black Music Month events to help you celebrate. First stop, throughout June, Disneyland is honoring the history of Black music with bands performing hits by Black artists from various decades. Next, catch the screening of Heart and Soul, a love story at the Grammy Museum, June 8th in the Museum Theater. And on Juneteenth, that's right, June 17th, join Mayor Karen Bass and Councilwoman Heather Hutt on Jefferson Boulevard for the naming and ribbon-cutting ceremony of the New Orleans Corridor, followed by a second-line parade all the way to the main stage in front of Harold and Bells for a concert celebrating Black music with Terrace Martin and Friends, Urban Mayfield, 1500 Ermessen, and more. Visit NOLA2LAtickets.org. NOLA2LAtickets.org. Fun fact, President Jimmy Carter established June as Black Music Month in 1979. Here's to 44 years. Did you know that all City of LA renters have rights? Check out these 3 facts. Residential tenants can't be evicted without reason or just cause. Eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt due before March 31st, 2023. And you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice. 5 days. Many Angelinos may be at risk of losing their home, and that's why we want you to know your rights. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk.
Y'all know what it is? My playlist is my co-host. That ain't nothing but Mary J. Never want to be without you, live without you. Is that what it is? I never want to live without you, Mary J. Blige, from that My Life album, which, in my opinion, was her best album. The co-host here on The Voice of Reason ain't no joke. That first record I played is a friend of mine. His name is Gnu Rockwell. And I want everybody to download that record because the record is called Toxic. And this is an older brother. And what I've learned about older MCs, they have wisdom in their rhymes. Check out the record Toxic. It might be his ex-wife now. She's a therapist. She's been on my show before. She's amazing. But I want y'all to check out this record, Toxic by Gnu, Gaknew, Gnu Rockwell. And again, it's called Toxic. Then we have Bilal, You Are. And that was just Mary J. I Never Want to Live Without You. But let me go back to Krishnamurti, and then I'm going to bring in Nazarene X. Krishnamurti said we are in relationship with the image we have of each other. And once those images have been broken, damaged, fractured, the relationship is fractured. In Krishnamurti's estimation, we have never really been in relationship with each other. We are in relationship with our expectations. We are in a relationship with the mask we wear. We are in a relationship with the image we project out to our partner. We are in a relationship with the image they project. But the soul of us, the truth of us, not really in relationship. What are your thoughts? Nazarene X, get in here.
Yes, sir. Right back at it, man. Ain't nothing but the truth.
Tell the truth,
Ain't nothing but the truth.
Tell the truth, man. It's the name of the devil.
So I felt like to tie in both of those points, like in a lot of ways, like for me, it's like surrendering to, I guess it's both like being in the driver's seat, but also being on autopilot, right? So in a way, the whole journey of life, in a way, it's like I'm in the back seat and God is the pilot on some stuff, like pretty much making me make my rounds. But I know I'm here to serve or like respond to whatever the mission is. So I think that in a lot of ways, when I grew to acknowledge a higher level of significance, like on the grand scheme in terms of the various people I would interact with or have relationships with, like intimately on a more interpersonal level, or even just passing, like in the streets and stuff, I feel like in a lot of ways we can serve to be somebody's rude awakening or confirmation, you know what I'm saying, to what space they're in inside. Like, for example, sometimes I remember just on some random stuff, I happened to jump into a gas station one day, but at the time I was coming off of feeling like really fired up for God, like kind of like just exuding out loud, like feeling like I really had to overcome a mental hurdle in a way. And inside I was just like resonating, but just kind of speaking aloud about just being grateful for God, or like just kind of in that spiritual bag. And it just so happened that while I'm crying inside in that breath, I happened to go straight into the store still having that type of energy on me. And a woman, like an elder of ours, just happened to turn to me and was like, she kind of did a double take. She was like, brother, your spirit is on fire. Like, you have such a great energy about you. And I wasn't necessarily in that space, but I felt like that was confirmation to say that aura, that energy that you're into or that you're carrying, it really does affect those around you. So there are subtleties like that.
But I want to know, but wait, Nazarene, I want to know about the devil in you, brother. Because that's what the relationship is about. Talk to me about that devil you struggle with, man. Sure, you got great energy, man. Tell the truth. But the topic is, why did we meet in the first place? Could it be that you met a woman so you could be revealed to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to jump way back because, especially in more recent times,
so you saying you don't need no more work, huh? Is that what you said? Is that what you implying?
I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is I lead with the whole thing like, man, really, that proverbial devil, like, he's part of the pecking order as far as that goes. Like, he ain't off the roster, but it's like I've learned how to take that so-called energy and have it work to my benefit and the benefit of others, so I don't shy away from it. It's like you can get whatever you need, but I guess, in that way I had to be face to face with certain internal decisions, right? But it's all about what can I live with. Like, as bad as I wouldn't want to necessarily go the quote unquote bad route, I realized that I kind of take pleasure in being that person that's with the smoke, because I feel like that level of smoke is only going to come into my sphere of influence when it is time for someone to stand in that gap and kind of bang back on the same beast. So I typically lean into that aspect of things, but I think there's a higher level of looking into it, because me saying that I'm embodying that devilishness is still but an understatement too.
Let me ask you then. You seeing somebody? Because I don't want to put your business out, right? You know.
Oh, no, not currently. Nah, you good.
Okay, cool. All right. So, the last person you were seeing, right? What were you there for? Why did you guys meet in the first place? Was it a true relationship? What happened? Why were you there? Why did your spirit draw you to that young lady?
Man, you could call it all types of different ways, but the one that registered for me is that, for that matter, I believe that young lady was being bombarded with opportunities.
We're not talking about her. We're not talking about her. We're talking about you and you.
No, I'm with you.
Yes.
I got you. Yeah, so this is how I had to take it, because basically the takeaway from that relationship was apparently that young lady wasn't aware that she, although she wanted something higher, I guess, she still was dealing with the truth of she would rather be chased around as if a lot of people that she was already dealing with were willing to offer her. And I just wasn't with all that.
Hold on. I know I ain't crazy. I asked you to talk about you. Here you are still talking about her now.
I'm cool, but I'm cynical. No. That's why I'm talking to. Like, I'm cynical like that, right? Like, I didn't. Excuse me. Apparently, I say the purity, or if you call it purity or anything like that, but the sincerity of me just being willing to lock in, share what I believe is just a fruitful union. And then taking note of different things that I hear, like I wasn't aware that she was still kind of like having what you would call the proverbial satellites, right? In that breath. So when I hear things like that, I'm like, I'm not necessarily gonna do what you're dropping hints as. How would you put it? Some women, when you meet them, they'll try to box you in because they feel like XYZ will offer that to you or offer that to them. And to me, it gave me a decision where it's more a confirmation. Like, I'm not looking to conform to that side or that type of, I guess, what you want.
Let me jump in here, brother. You my nephew.
Okay, yeah, help me out.
You are my nephew. And
help me out.
The power of the voice of reason compels you. The power of the voice of reason compels you. I got to do an exorcism on my brother, because you're not talking about you. You just I asked you.
Help me.
No, you help you. See, it's easy to blame somebody, Nas. You can't do that.
I'm not blaming nobody.
You broke down 2 or 3 reasons, and they all had to do with her. I'm saying, what did you show up there for? What did you want in the first place? Why are you there? Why were you in that relationship? Now, you just hold tight. When I come forward, I will continue this relationship exorcism on the voice of reason.
Then my prayers came true of you. Now that I have the answer, I'll be wishing on a star. I'll follow you where you are. I don't want to be alone.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network.
I'm very proud of my son.
That's all President Biden said in response to shouted questions from reporters ahead of a meeting on artificial intelligence.